Cisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really, the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco to Decker over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And on the ground they go with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Flacco. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now running right through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Back now in Baltimore. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the fourth and final quarter. Garoppolo to throw on second down. And that's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Niners are a point away from leading this game. Now Gold for the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter.